I welcome you to the best mods for Baldur 3 for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So basically, we're going to try cover all the best mods across the board, but with a bit more of a focus on console, but there's going to be something here for everyone. So if you do get anything out of these videos, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way, and I appreciate your time. Let's get into it. Here we have the Big Weapon Enabler by Shane H147, giving us such monstrosities as the Watcher Greatsword. So do note there are two versions of the Greatsword, one silver and one gold. We also have the Watcher's Crossbow. This is the steel version, pretty damn cool. We also have Minotaur's Great Club, a giant weapon of a thing. We also have the Scythe of Merkel, aka the Avatar of Merkel, and this weapon looks bloody scary. It's a demon in your hands. Only downside of the scythe is that it sticks out so much. So the Big Weapon Enabler will allow players to wield large, typically unusable weapons that are normally restricted to non-humanoid enemies. The mod modifies the weight and restrictions of these weapons to make them usable by the character without altering their ability or damage multipliers. Some of the other key features is there are no ability edits. The weapons retain their original damage outputs, but do not grant any special abilities, meaning they simply just deal a lot of damage. Pretty cool and overpowered for an early game to obtain these. When you start a new game, there will be a big weapon chest that has been added to the tutorial chest, allowing you to pick up these powerful weapons from the very beginning. The other option is to use the disarm attack or spell to disarm these very weapons from their respective enemies, or just use the cheat ring, which allows you to use the summon the tutorial chest and you can access it at any time. Pretty freaking cool mod. Let's keep moving. This is just a little bit of a fun mod. This is the Halo Master Chief Armor and MA5C Assault Rifle. This is by Paul Marman 33, and it's pretty incredible because we can pull out the weapon and fire it just like we would. It's sort of like a grenade launcher, but it's kind of impressive. So you're able to equip and wear the armor if you have a very certain body type, but you'll also be able to use the weapon, which is pretty incredible. So to get this working, you will need a character or a companion that is a male with a strong body type 4 with the following races: Tieflings, humans, drows, elves, and half-elves. Should all be compatible. The nice touch is that the armor comes in a variety of rarities, ensuring that you can equip something that's not too overpowered for wherever you're up to within the game. The overall detail and look and textures aren't too bad. Pretty incredible to see Master Chief in Baldur's Gate 3, let alone with a working gun. Pretty incredible mod. Let's keep moving. So these next three mods are purely visual, but the impacts are profound. Starting off with the redesigned tent for Shadowheart. Here we have this beautifully handcrafted rendition of Shadowheart's tent, and this is with the mod on. And if we make a comparison, you can see the very stark difference between the two. Lots of little added detail and elements. It just looks so much more engaging and draws your attention. The same thing has been done for Wyll's tent, completely redesigning so much of the aesthetics, and overall just looks fantastic. We'll just do a comparison quickly so you can see the difference, but it's very noticeable and I think a fantastic way to kind of spice up the camp a bit more. And this one is called Redesigned Tent for Wyll. Now there's mods like this pretty much for all the various tents. However, most of these are only on Nexus right now, so stay tuned. Hopefully we see these come to console soon. Let's keep moving. Here we have a fascinating mod called Ring of Identity Theft. The Doppelganger Ring. This interesting mod is done by Gabe Kemonescro. If we go into our inventory, open the Bag of Overwhelming Chaos, find the Ring of Identity Theft. Once we've equipped this ring, you will note that we get a little spell activated as soon as we equip it. And let us find us something a little bit more interesting to engage with. Here we have Scratch. Well, if we click Identity Theft, we'll have the options to steal identity, reclaim, or spell theft. Let's go identity theft. Let's turn ourselves into a dog at a click of a button. And what's funny is that even as the dog, we can still do spells and everything like that. So it's kind of a funny mixture. But what this mod is doing is allowing us to steal the identity. Pretty much any NPC. So this includes their appearance buffs. The other cool aspect to this is that we can switch back very quickly by just reclaiming our identity and we're back to our original character. The other neat trick is the spell theft. Using this allows us to temporarily steal a spell cast by that target for up to 10 turns or 60 seconds. You'll be able to use some of those spells in this instance, but not all of them, and it's only for a temporary amount of time, so just keep that in mind. Neat little mod. Let's keep moving. And this next mod is called the Bag of Devouring. And this is done by O for the Gamers. And this interesting little mod will add the Bag of Devouring into the tutorial chest, which can be used to summon a leather pouch called the Bag of Devouring. So this bag is going to stay within our inventory just for 5 turns. But if you're like me and you carry a lot of stuff, what we can do is we can chuck a bunch of stuff into the Bag of Devouring. So here we go. We're just throwing a ton of stuff in here, whatever we want, just getting rid of some of the junk. And this can be a cool way to help clean up your inventory and your save file. Instead of having junk and clutter everywhere or unwanted items, we can just throw them in this Bag of Devouring. And just before we complete the cycle of 5 turns, it's important to know, don't really think there is any limit to how much you can put in the bag. So just worth noting that as well. You can literally, if you really wanted to, we could just throw everything in there. Pretty funny, it's on 69. This should be the last turn. And after your 5 turns or thereabouts, the Bag of Devouring will automatically disappear and despawn. And all the items that you put in there will be destroyed or otherwise sent to the void. Now, another good benefit of this mod, this can be useful if you want to throw some of your modded items and get rid of them completely from your save, which will remove those items and traces. So that can be quite a handy thing, particularly if you're having issues loading into a save. You might be able to use this mod to kind of fix up a broken save that's trying to load items from a mod you normally no longer have. You'd probably need to install the mod again, get all those items, throw them into the Devouring bag, wait for it to despawn, save, and then uninstall the mod. Some utility there for sure. Let's keep moving. The next 3 mods we're going to cover all work really well together, and it's almost really suggested if you really want to enhance your musical experience within Baldur's Gate 3. And the first one we're going to look at is Ember's Lute, a musical performance mod. Ember's Lute is a comprehensive music performance mod for Baldur's Gate 3 that allows characters to perform a variety of musical pieces with unique visual effects, summoning instruments, and interactive ensemble performances. It is built to enhance a player's musical experience, whether you're playing solo or along with companions. So how does this amazing mod work? Well, within our inventory, after downloading, we're going to have this excellent little scroll of summoning instruments. All we'll need to do is double click on that and cast the spell. And then after that, we're going to get, upon completing the spell, we'll get the instrument chest where we can access a variety of different chests. Not all of these are to do with this mod. So we'll just hone in on the very critical ones we're looking at. So the ensemble, annoying instrument varnishes, we'll drag those into our inventory. And there's also a really nice, helpful thank you and instruction book for the mod itself, which goes into a cool amount of detail where you'll be able to purchase the various instruments and a bit more of a breakdown of how to use the mod. So quite helpful. Opening up, we'll find the Spider's Lyre of Rolling Bones. Cool thing is this basically comes with the Bard trait. So anyone should be able to use this instrument along with some cool class actions. Pretty neat. So all we need to do this now that we've got everything correctly set up, we can go summon the Rolling Bones and we will summon them and they pop out of the ground. And they're going to whip out their instruments as soon as we click perform within an ensemble. Here we can go select a choice of perform the power, the bard dance, or old time battles. So for instance, we'll go old time battles and they're going to whip out their instruments and we're all going to start jamming together. And that looks freaking unreal. So a cool little display and the visual effects and everything look fantastic. So while they're playing, we can even go into passive. We can actually flick off certain instruments. So say if we want to take out the flute, we can stop the flute player. If you see on the left there, we can toggle it on and off. Basically, we get full control of all the instruments and we'll only hear that single audio layer or that instrument that's toggled on. So pretty unreal. So you can do a little bit of mixing with some cool music and just chuck on a few different instruments or have them all on, your choice. So it's a really cool aspect to this mod, giving you a lot of foundational control over your experience. And if you want to check out the gnomes, all we need to do is go Lute of a Vicious Rockery and equip that. But here we can just go perform and it'll just be like with the undead, they'll get out the instruments. So really nice to see. So cool little touch to add. Now keep in mind, you'll be able to do this as well with your companions. Give them the instruments because it will automatically grant them the ability to play instruments. Now the mod continues with more functionality with some annoying enchantments, spells. So lots of interesting and cool things to muck around with, which brings us to the next addition or add-on mod for this. And it's called the Haunted Instruments. Accessing this the exact same way by using the scroll of summoning, here we'll get a chest of haunted instruments, pretty much the whole band almost, and we'll be able to drop and try these. Will give us the access to perform the Weeping Dawn, which is going to let us jam out with the spirits. It also comes with 6 custom VFX, 1 per musical performance, 15 haunted violin variants, so 3 new textures with the violin, 15 toggleable glow map variants. You'll also have the combat performance, which will give you quite a few other options as well. Now, depending on which haunted instrument you equipped, will determine the visual effects. So for instance, we got the violin glow maps here now. What we can do is perform a song and you can see the cool, crazy effects that we're getting now. And here we can also change the glow map of the violin. So at the moment you can see that it's green. We can boost the light. We can also make it green scripts. And the visual effects are quite stunning. So definitely a cool way to mix it up. So this mod introduces the house rule that grants every character a feat at level 2, even though the standard game doesn't allow for it normally until level 4. Feats are powerful abilities or bonuses that enhance your character's build. For this mod, it assumes that all characters start with one feat, allowing for more flexibility in character creation and customization in early game. The key features of this mod is that at level 2, we will be able to select one of the various feats, which should be supportive of majority of the classes, 12 in total. Do note, if you're a multicaster character and you reach level 2, you'll also receive a feat point and be able to select various feat. Otherwise, a nice little interesting mod. Let's keep moving. Introducing the Witch class by Nuto123. In your character menu, we'll have the new subclass of Witch. Some of the key features are: you'll get witchcraft points starting at level 2, which is gain access to witchcraft points, which can be used to either enhance existing spells or cast witch exclusive spells. The number of witchcraft points increases in every even level. Also important to note, at level 2, you will get to pick your subclass. We have the Herbalist, a Potion Specialist, a Frost Witch, which is a powerful caster that spreads cold damage. We have a Hex Witch, debilitate your foes by reducing their saves, then finish them off with a powerful spell. Then we have Witchblade, which is a melee focus, uses arcane power. Then you sort of have the standard Mage's Invoker. Also, you will get to choose your class passive, and these are all specifically to do with the Witchcraft mod. So an interesting choices here, many different ones to consider. And as you level up, you will gain access various other witch spells. For instance, at level 2, we get the Boar. At level 5, we have Witch's Boon. Grants all allies you can see regeneration for 3 turns while removing disease, poison, paralysis, and blindness. A pretty potent spell there. Then at level 6, this is where we get to pick our incredible passives. At levels 6, 8, and 11, we'll get to choose the Minor, Major, and Ultimate Witchery passive. These are absolutely game-changing, powerful, potent, combat-related passives that will change the game and how you play witches. But just looking at some of the passives in a little bit more detail, they have Expanded Witchcraft, increases your total witchcraft points by 4. Witchcraft Implosion, once per short rest, you can spend a bit of your power to create a hole in the universe, sucking in all targets. Seduce, 1 per short rest, you can sink magical hooks into your mind of another creature, reduces its creature peripheral vision and make it look at you. So many cool witch related passives. Now for the class passives, at level 6 we have Whisper of the Grave. We can cast Speak with the Dead without expanding a spell slot. Kesmet Eyes, the creatures see within magical darkness. Armored Gish, you have mastered the ability to cast while wearing more than just robes. Gain armor proficiency with medium armor. Poison Mastery, your ability to poison is unrivaled. When you deal poison damage, you inflict a number of cursed poison stacked equal to your medicine skill. And Healing Mastery, you can increase the amount healed by your spell equal to your medicine skill. So some truly amazing things. And if we go have a look at our witch, we can just quickly show you turning into a boar as one of our spells, where we'll have Rush and Lunar Mend. And since we're a Frost Witch, we can do the Frost Breath, but you get the idea. So some really cool new ways to experience a new subclass and class, being able to fully deck out a witch playthrough. Pretty freaking cool mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have HairUnlocked. This is done by Shane H147. This mod adds over 30 new hairstyles to Baldur Gate's 3 character creator, making a variety of the styles from different companions and NPCs that exist within the game available to your character. These hairstyles can be used by most races, and a number of them are specifically tailored to particular body types, ensuring a wide range of customization for the player. So some of the features are some of the unique hairstyle from Shadowheart, Jahira, Karlak, Halsin, Mathira, etc. And you get the idea. So lots and lots of options. And then for your other characters that aren't your main companions, we have Isabel, Orin, Gortash, Mizora, Harpy, the Priestess, Goblins. So many different choices. Now it's important to note that 2 of Shadowheart hairstyles are only available for female bodies, and some of Karlak's hairstyle is only available for the strong female bodies and a standard male body. Mizora and Nier hairstyle is available for standard male and female bodies. Halsin's and Cambion hairstyles are only available for standard and strong male bodies. Do note for console and Mac, you guys are on a different version, so this is going to get updated with more hairstyles to include the totality of the 30 various hair sets that are available. However, you do have access to this mod now on console. Really nice to see. So some really cool hairstyles here. Let's keep moving. This adds a brand new race straight out of the OG Dungeons and Dragon. This aquatic humanoid, these aquatic humanoid, and this new race is called Kuo-Toa, and it is a race of aquatic humanoids straight from the OG Dungeons and Dragons. This is the first. These creatures are notable for their amphibious nature, religious fanaticism, and unique society. So the physical appearance are very fish-like, as you can see. It has a crazy thing on its head depending on which character you pick. And what's so cool is that they're very close to how they're depicted. Fish-like humanoids with slimy, rubbery skin. And how cool are some of the animations? Looks freaking wild. So we're going to go through and step through what it kind of looks like, feels like. There's also some really cool abilities go along with the mod. So when it comes to customization, there are a few little varieties between the body types where you can have a fish on your head, or you can just go without the fish. These are your females, so they have a cool little back thing there. So for when it comes to customization, but beyond that, from what I can see, there are little other customizations we can make. But at least we got something, so that's pretty cool to start with. So with that in mind, let's go dive in. And here it is, the little demon himself. So what's incredible is the detail, new animations, and it looks phenomenal. So crazy. Those eyes are so soulless and dead. Whoa, yeah. So you'll find a few little issues here and there as we sort of popped into his head. Now, some really cool things to mention straight away is when we do the hide, we do this cool little animation as we sort of sneak around. And these are all pretty much custom. They look absolutely incredible. So I'll just show you a little bit more detail. So this is him sneaking around. How fun's that? Pretty unique walking and running animation as well, with the hands running behind. So really nice job there. So you certainly be impressed with how it's been implemented with the running animations, and the overall design and look is pretty much top notch. Now what will be funny is when we get to those intimate moments, but do keep in mind you may have things like this. So there are a few little hiccups here and there, just to go over that again, where it will look a bit funny, but again, just recently put onto console, so it will get updated and perfected over time. So some of it can be quite jarring, but just keep in mind it is very early days. So casting blood loss on our Cellball companion will heal us or the targeted ally 2d6 HP, which means the healing amount ranges from 2 to 12 hit points, and this will be triggered when we kill an enemy and attacks with a flurry of blows. So pretty interesting. However, the limitation with this is it can only be used once per battle. So just give you an example of it in action. So we've cast this on ourselves and going to kill this imp here, and we've gained 4 or 5 HP. It is a concentration spell, which will last for 12 meters or a varying amount of turns, and activating this ability will break any current concentrations on other spells or abilities. Now we've also got 2 other cool abilities, which we have the fishing net. This will ensnare our target. So just to give you an example, here is throwing the net, and there it goes. Pretty nice little animation there. So this guy's ensnared. So when ensnared, be easy target. We'll be able to do more damage. Naming Pinch, also a really cool attack. This is going to inflict the pinch status for 2 turns. This action targets the feet of the enemy, making it a melee attack that requires an attack roll. If the pinch condition lands, this typically immobilizes or restricts the movement of the enemy. And I'll just show you what it looks like here. So it's just a slash attack at the moment. What's so incredible about this mod is that it is replacing all the cutscenes with the new race, with our new character. It's pretty unreal. And you're probably wondering what happens during the good times. Well, let's sort of get a good idea of what it's going to look like and if it can happen. Here we go. I want to talk about the relationship. May I have a kiss? This is going to be the funniest thing. Kissing the fish. This is so funny. Okay, so the animations probably need some work, but it does add a good laugh to it. Okay, here we go. So this is added with 100% relationship status. It is a little bit funny, but at least you can still do it, and it's just going to be not as per normal. But hey, if you ever wanted to get freaky with the fish, well, now you can. Really interesting and cool mod. Let's keep moving.